For this mechanism, which is a V-fold, first thing you need to do is place your piece of card flat on your desk. Get your ruler, and we're going to use the top left-hand corner as the first part. You're going to place your ruler right up in the corner, and you are going to do a marker at the 7 centimetre point and the 14 centimetre point, so that you have 2 indentations on the card. You're then going to bring the ruler down a little bit and do exactly the same. So again at 7 centimetres and again at 14 centimetres. So you should now have 2 sets of dashed lines, one above the other, 7 centimetres apart. Using your ruler, you're going to draw a line from the top of the card, matching your 2 dashed lines together, and 7 centimetres in length. So make sure the top of the ruler is nice and level with the top of your card at the 0, and then draw a nice straight line going down 7 centimetres. Remember, you are marked on your accuracy, so it needs to be exactly 7 centimetres. Then do the same for your second line. So again, match the ruler at the top, match your 2 dashed lines together, and draw a 7 centimetre line going down. So you now have 2 7 centimetre lines coming down from the top of your card. We need to draw a line going straight across the bottom, and we need to make sure it's nice and accurate. So unable to help us to do that, we're going to measure the left hand side of the card. We're going to place our ruler at the top, and we're going to do a marker at 7 centimetres down. So we've now got, if I just zoom in, you've now got your 2 7 centimetres lines and your little dash on the side. So what we're now going to do is we are going to draw a line going across and matching all of those together. So matching your 7 centimetres at the edge across both of those lines you've just drawn. And if it's done accurately, this line here should match with the 14 centimetres. You should then have 2 squares, one next to each other, that is 7 centimetres by 7 centimetres. The next stage is to extend these down by 1 centimetre. So this line on the right hand side, you're going to place your ruler back on it, get it nice and accurate, and you're going to now draw down to the 8 centimetre line. Do the same on the middle line, and then for the left hand edge, you're going to do a centimetre down and do a marker. Then exactly what you've just done before, you're going to match those up together, and you're going to draw a line going across. So what we now have is 2 sets of shapes. You've got your 2 squares, and now you've got 2 rectangles underneath that are 1 centimetre in height and 7 centimetres in length. This is going to be turned into our V-fold. So in order to turn it into the V-fold, we need to add our glue tabs. Now these 2 small boxes at the bottom are going to turn into the glue tab. To do that, we need to take our ruler, and from the left hand side, you're going to measure in 1/2 centimetre and do a little dash. Then this middle line, you're going to measure 1/2 centimetre to the left and 1/2 centimetre to the right. And then from the furthest right hand side line, again, you're going to measure 1/2 centimetre in. So you end up with 4 dashes along the bottom. You are then going to take a line from that dash diagonally up to the line above. So you're just going from your dash diagonally up to the corner above, so that you have something that looks like that. Okay, good. This is the first V-fold. We are now going to draw the second V-fold. So you're going to do this on the other side of your card. So this is on this side. You're going to turn your card the other way round, and we're now going to draw on the top right hand side, so they're above each other. So we're going to start exactly the same as what we've just done. You're going to measure 7 centimetres in from the right hand edge, and then another 7 to make 14. Do that again by bringing the ruler down 7 centimeters and then 14. Again, repeat the same task we did before. We are going to draw a line coming down as 7 centimeters. Because we've already got it here at the bottom, we can line our ruler up with the line at the bottom, and this will help us to get a very nice accurate straight line. So again, we're going to go to 7 centimeters. Same with the middle. We're going to go down 7 centimeters. So we've got our 2 vertical lines. We're then going to use the right hand edge, and again we're going to measure 7 centimeters and do a dash, so we can then draw a straight line going across and match it up perfectly all the way along. So this is exactly the same as what we started with, but now we are going to make a slight change. This mechanism, this V-fold, is going to be slightly different to the first one we've just drawn out. So what we are going to do is, on this left hand side, you are going to measure 1.5 centimeters up from the bottom line and draw a little dash. You're then going to do the same from the furthest right hand side edge. You're going to draw a dash at 1.5 centimeters up. You are then going to take your ruler, you're going to place your pencil on the base of the middle line, and you're going to put your ruler and draw a diagonal line up to that 1.5 centimeter marker. So that you have 2 diagonal lines going from that middle line up and out. What we need to do now is to rub out these lines here. So you're just going to use our rubber, and ever so carefully we're going to rub those lines out. It doesn't matter if you can still see them slightly, but we're just going to rub those out like so. Right, now what we need to do is add our glue tabs to this mechanism. So to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to place your ruler on the furthest right hand side edge, and you are going to draw a marker that is 1 centimeter down from this base side here. So this line that goes up diagonally, you're going to measure 1 centimeter down, and you're going to do a marker. You're then going to measure 1 centimeter down from this middle line, and again do a marker, and again on the left hand side edge. So we're just coming down 1 centimeter from each section. Use your ruler and match these up together so that you are drawing in another set of diagonal lines. You can then continue the middle line all the way down and the line on the left all the way down. So this is just like this one where we had the rectangle at the bottom. This now becomes our glue tab. So exactly the same as we did a minute ago. We're going to measure 0.5 centimeter in from both sides to a marker. 0.5 centimeter in from both sides. And then again, we're going to take these diagonally up to the point above. So that you now have 2 mechanisms. Oh, wobbly camera. Okay, so the next stage will be to cut these out. So we're going to start with the first one that we drew. If you cut the whole thing out first, so cut nice and accurately. Again, you are marked on your accuracy, so you need to make sure that your cut lines are perfectly straight and exactly where they should be, going along the guidelines you have drawn. So we have cut this part out. Now what we're left to cut out are these diamond shapes that we drew in. So you're just going to cut those away. So that you have something that looks like that. The last stage of this bit is to then fold along these lines that we've got drawn. Now if you just try and fold straight away, you cannot guarantee that they're going to be accurate. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our ruler and our scissors. You're going to open up the scissors and we're going to use the blade side of the scissor to score along the line to help us with the fold. Now when you do this, you don't want to press too hard, otherwise you can run the risk of ripping the card. So you're just going to place the scissors on and you're just going to run them along the line, adding a little bit of pressure, but not too much that you don't want to rip the card. And then again, along the side with the glue tabs. So now what we've done is we've scored along this line and we've scored along this line, which should now give us an indentation to be able to fold that piece in half and then fold these glue tabs backwards. So that what we have is something that looks like that. So you've got the glue tabs at the bottom and that folds at the top. If you put that one to one side and grab your piece of card again with the second mechanism, and we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to cut this one out, again making sure we're cutting very accurately along the lines that we've drawn. Remember, this one is at a slightly different angle. Again, cut our little triangles off. Use your ruler and your scissors to score so that we can fold accurately. Remember to always take your time. You don't want to rush because, as I've said many times now, you are going to be graded on these, and what you're going to be marked on is your accuracy. So how well you have measured to the measurements you've been given, how well you can fold, and how neatly you can cut. So now that we've done our score lines, again we should be able to easily fold along those lines so that we now have our second V-fold folded. Again, now put this one to one side and you are now going to grab your second piece of card. With your second piece of card, this is the one that the mechanism is going to be stuck into. So you want to fold it in half as accurately as you can get it. And crease along the fold. If you use your thumbs and press really, really hard, you'll get a nice, neat crease. You can then open up your piece of card so that you can see the spine. What we're going to do is your first mechanism that you did, this is going to be stuck in towards the top. And in order to do this, we need to make a marker as to where this is going to need to go. So using your ruler, you're going to measure from the top of your piece of card, coming down 5 centimeters. Make sure your ruler is right up against your fold line and draw a little dot at the 5 centimeter mark. This is now ready for us to glue in our mechanism. So what you're going to do with your mechanism, you're going to hold it, you're going to fold it so that your pencil lines are on the inside, and then you're going to open up the 2 glue tabs so that they are held open like so. This just makes it easier and more accurate of getting glue right up to those folded edge. So with your Pritt stick, you are going to put glue on those glue tabs. Again, do not put too much. It's all about accuracy. You just need a nice light layer of glue. You can see I'm not putting too much on there so that this will glue. I'm now going to again fold it open the opposite way so the pencil marks are now showing and the glue is on either side of those glue tabs. Just going to zoom in so you can see this a little better. What you now are going to need to do is this diagonal edge of the glue tab needs to go nice and flush with the spine. This folded corner here is going to match up with the dot we've just done. So you're going to place the dot right on that folded edge. Make sure your glue tab, this angle is nice and flush with the spine. You're going to press down on the back one first so that that one is glued down. Fold the V-fold back on itself, fold your card over and then press down nice and firmly so that it has glued together. And then when it opens up, your V-fold will then pop open and you have your first mechanism. So that's the first one done. Now we need to glue in the second one. Same thing as the first one, we're going to do a marker on the spine so that we know where this is going to need to go. In order to do this, we are going to measure up from the base of your card 7 centimetres. So I'm going to come up from the base and do a marker at 7 centimetres. Again, this is on our spine. We are now ready to glue the second mechanism. So with the pencil lines facing you, fold it in half so the pencil lines become inside. Push the glue tabs back so they're open nice and flat. Glue stick, again a nice even layer of glue on the glue tabs, nothing too much. Open up the mechanism the other way. Careful the glue tabs don't stick together. And then again, we're going to do just what we've done before. We are going to place this folded corner up against our circle dot. Make sure our glue tabs are nice and flat with the spine. We're going to glue the back piece down first. We're then going to close the card over, press nice and firmly. And then when you open your card, you have got your second mechanism. And hopefully what you should find is you have got 2 different angles. The first one sits up perfectly straight. The second one tilts backwards. And that is your 2 different ways of doing a V-fold. Well done.